Welcome to Midlife Dialogues. I'm answering the question, how do you know which DNA test to take? I have done all the big DNA tests and some of the smaller ones too. Today, I'm going to talk about the 23andMe DNA test and tell you why you might want to choose that one. So first, let's talk about the big picture. Why take a DNA test? Some people take DNA tests to learn about their ancestry and heritage, meaning where their families came from. Others take it to find relatives and learn about their ancestors. They want to use their results to do research and build a family tree and learn about their family's past. Then another reason that people take DNA tests is to learn more about their genes and their health. In my opinion, 23andMe is the best DNA test for someone whose main interest is to learn more about their genes and their health. Here I'm referring to the 23andMe test labeled Health Plus Ancestry. Make sure you buy the right one for what you're looking for. They also offer just an ancestry test. They do not offer health as a standalone. A 23andMe DNA test gives you a lot of information about health. Here are some of the things you can learn from a 23andMe test. Number 1, health predispositions. Your 23andMe test can tell you about how your genes might impact or influence your likelihood of having a lot of different conditions. There's a very long list, which you can read on their website, 23andme.com. It includes panic attacks, late onset Alzheimer's disease in some cases, lupus, depression, ADHD, polycystic ovary syndrome, preeclampsia, Hashimoto's disease, asthma, anxiety disorders, fibromyalgia, type 2 diabetes, coronary artery disease, LDL cholesterol, Parkinson's disease, celiac disease, and many other conditions. 23andMe stresses that your DNA results just suggest that you may have a higher chance of developing certain health conditions. And keep in mind that with any DNA test you take, getting a negative result on a health trait doesn't mean you're in the clear for genetic risk for that disease. They don't test for every possible genetic variant that can impact conditions. Other factors can also impact your developing a health problem, such as lifestyle, environment, and family history. But it is interesting to get a peek into what some of your genes suggest. Know too that DNA tests for genetic information are highly accurate, but they're not 100%. 23andMe says its health information is over 99% accurate. It doesn't test the entire genome also. It's not a silver bullet, but it can be very interesting. Take anything concerning that you learn to your doctor for further testing. Your DNA results are never a diagnosis. They are suggestions, they're hints. It's information you can use to go to your doctor and learn more. Testing for health information and getting a positive result can make you stressed or anxious. Don't just worry about it for the rest of your life. Go see your doctor. Tell them what the DNA test said and let them tell you what to do next, how you can monitor for that situation, if they want to do further testing, or what lifestyle changes you might want to make. Number 2, you can learn whether you have certain genetic variants you might pass on to your children. Knowledge is power. Knowing that you're a carrier for a certain genetic condition can help you make more informed decisions. Again, talk to a doctor about anything that concerns you. Number 3, you'll also get wellness reports, which detail your genetic connections to certain traits and conditions that can impact quality of life. These include things like information about muscle composition, nearsightedness, seasonal allergies, weight, cat and dog allergies, lactose intolerance, caffeine consumption, and more. Personally, I find these mildly interesting, if that, and not of as much value. But number 4, if you do the 23andMe Plus test, you'll also receive 3 pharmacogenetics reports. These can tell you if you have a specific DNA variant in a certain gene that may influence how you process certain medications. The second one tells you about your body's ability to process a specific class of medications used to treat certain cancers. And the third report tells you if you have specific DNA variants in a certain gene that may influence how you process certain specific medications. So that's my very basic layman's summary of what you get. If you're interested in these pharmacogenetics reports, check out 23andme.com and you can read a lot more about them. Number 5. 23andMe does also tell you about your ancestry and your heritage. Personal insights into your ancestry, where your ancestors came from. How they do that? They compare your genes to a reference data set filled with genes from people whose ancestries they know. People, they say, who basically reflect populations from at least 500 years ago, before transcontinental travel and migration were so common. The 23andMe website has a document that goes into a lot of detail about that if you're curious about how it works. You can find relatives you share share DNA with too, usually including a lot of people you've never heard of before. It shows you how much DNA you share with that person and on which chromosome. That's kind of advanced stuff, but being able to compare which bit of DNA on which chromosome you share with someone, if you get more into DNA and genealogy, that's a really useful tool. While the 23andMe test does give you a lot of information on DNA relatives, we genealogy geeks who are really into it do all the different major tests. For this reason, different people test their DNA at the different testing companies. Ancestry.com has the most people in its database by far, so that's the company I test with first if that's what you're looking for, to find other relatives you share DNA with and learn more about your ancestry. But 23andMe does have a robust offering there too. So to sum it up, if you're primarily interested in learning about genetic health information, 23andMe is the DNA test to go with, in my opinion. You will also receive information about DNA relatives. I have another video up about why you might want to choose the Ancestry DNA test, which goes into more detail, and coming soon, one on the family tree DNA test as well. Please subscribe to this channel if you're interested in more, and thank you. See you next time.